Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Saturday, June 26th, 2021. My name is Rich, and joining me once again this week is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, my man. Living life, feeling great. Yeah, this show, it's pretty awesome. I can't wait to talk about the ending, the final run. Oh boy.
Yeah, it is a heck of an episode, a heck of a season, and again, reminds me of why I like Ninja so much. I like emotional roller coaster through the whole episode, ups and downs, laughs and shock and tears. It had everything. But it is different this year. I know there's a lot of people that have problems with it. Or I don't know about a lot of people, but I've had a few people message me or we see posts online. It is a little different than usual. And we have a lot of new faces and a lot of people being skipped that we'd normally see. So lots to talk about. And we haven't even said what we were. We're talking about ANW13, and this is episode 3 of the qualifiers we are talking about today.
Yes, sir. That's it. I mean, once again, I'm all for the changes so far. I reserve the right to change my mind later on in the season. But so far, let these teenagers run. Let them live their best lives. And I think the final run perfectly, elaborated why, the new fresh blood is great.
All right, so we are not going to do run by run this week, but I do want to talk about the course before we get started anyway. Air Surfer. So basically this flipped upside down snowboard that they're hopping along. What'd you think of that one?
I thought it looked fun. Like, bro, this seems like a cool obstacle. It's like a different variation of the whole, I'm sure you remember like the pipe where you have to like certainly like swing it over and get into certain hooks. Obviously, the pipe probably is harder because it requires more precision and everything. But I like this variation for a qualifying round of it. It still requires some form of precision. And it honestly looks kind of like a really fun obstacle. Like I would love to try this in like a ninja gym or something.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I think it also would scale up well. So in the qualifier, they do have a smaller ledge to kind of land up, but they can, narrow them down in different ways, spread them apart. It really, I think, can scale up well as an obstacle. I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And it requires you to try out different or test different parts of your body that traditionally aren't really explored on the show. Like you're doing more of your neck muscle, your shoulders, your arms, and of course your grip strength, but, more of like a spread eagle type of, dead hang.
Yeah, I guess it takes away you don't necessarily need a switch grip on this one, but I mean, it is a different type of hold for making those similar feeling hops that they would normally do, like with a bar, as you said. But we got to talk about pretzel twist.
I was stunned by like people falling on this thing. I don't know. Like it's one of those things where visually, I'll be honest with you, it didn't look as hard. Don't get me wrong. It's not easy, but it didn't look like a ninja killer. But man, a lot of people were struggling on it. And I'm sure it's just one of those things where you have to be on it to really see what it's like.
I like it a lot. I really liked it. I like the visual aspects of it. Even the goofy pretzel little salt on them and everything. Like I like that obstacle a lot. I like the dynamics of it. The way it locks in and it can, the backswing can really be a killer. The way they have to unhook it. Like we've seen in other obstacles. All around big fan of that obstacle.
Yeah, I really like the element of you having to kind of figure it out and like, do an upswing and spin it like while doing it. And like, I feel like if it was earlier in the course, it'd be a lot more doable, but like so deep into the course, it really can be tricky for a lot of these ninjas.
All right. So that being said, we are winging it. For those that haven't been listening lately, we are going to try to wing our way through kind of our highlights of the episode, what we liked, what we didn't. Let me think. Early on runs. Who do we got?
Mr. Perfecto, the wrestler dude. What do you think of this? Because I couldn't decide. I still to this day can't figure out if I absolutely hate this guy or I love this guy.
I loved everything about him. I thought he was just the perfect balance. He had strong ninja skills. He had a lot of personality, obviously. Talented wrestler. Like with the wrestling moves and stuff they were showing were like pretty high level stuff from my perspective, at least. All around, big fan. He played it up just the right amount without being obnoxious, although we can love obnoxious sometimes too. Yeah, I loved him. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the camp factor of him. I feel like the hate factor for me was just like went a little too much into the perfecto thing, but I really enjoyed, his character, and I'm all for more of these, wrestler personalities. I find it really fun. And in many ways, it's almost like a heel persona where he's just staring into the mirror. Like, no,
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things where you love to hate him. It's not like a genuine hate, but it's like, oh, boo.
Yeah, for sure. I found this whole episode strong on personalities. Like, even though we didn't get some of those big name runs, either we had a lot of fast forwards, for example, the people they did show all had a lot of personality this season.
That's a really good point. And really, that's a big bonus. I feel like previous seasons have been lacking in that department sometimes. So, yeah, that's a really good, point that you made right there.
Yeah, actually, I would lump him in with, I'm going to mention a couple of people in a row here. The 50-year-old speed skater guy, he was great. He was, personable and really strong on the course. That's Casey Boutiette. Megan Budway, the elementary school music teacher, she was fun to watch. Did quite well, too.
She was awesome. I mean, we got to talk about that. She was, like, really strong, really talented, showed a lot of personality. Like, I'm really interested in seeing her, like, more of the season, because I feel like she's low-key, like, man, she can do some damage in terms of the women, or just the show in general,
Yeah, even, she did quite well. I don't want to downplay her skills, but I felt like her personality really carried it, and she could be one that we could watch season after season to have her, tempting to get further on the course. Like, it doesn't matter if she beats the whole thing or not. I want to just see her keep competing. I feel like that badly leads into the next person. We definitely have to talk about Brandon Mears. Has been struggling the last few seasons on balance obstacles, and they played up the story again this time, and I just had a bad feeling. I was like, there's no... I just know that this is going to go badly. We got this, split decision, and he's going to have to pick one way or the other, and sure enough, he fell. Really gutting, very emotional interview afterwards where he just basically... It sounds like he's tapping out. It might have just been the heat of the moment. He may not be, but just feeling like he's just going to pass on the torch to the next generation.
I mean, how do you think we're going to see him again?
I think possibly. I would say better than 50% chance he's coming back once he, once the outpouring on that I'm sure has come into him from his fans and everybody else. Like, we want to see him compete. I have zero problem with him taking a spot again next year. I want to see him beat that, and we've seen him do much better. We've seen him get far in the course. We know he's really strong as a ninja, and it's just that one thing that keeps tripping him up, and I want to see him get past it.
I do not think we'll see him compete on the show again. I think we'll see him still on the sidelines, cheering on Dan Palisi. Palisi, right? Is his name?
Palisi, I think.
Palisi. I still think we'll see him cheering him on, but I think Brandon Mears, he's got a full career. He's got a family. He kind of, is reading the room in terms of like, hey, there are 15 or 16-year-olds on this show now.
Yeah.
I've been on this show long enough. Like, it just seemed to me it was his way of politely saying, hey, time to hang up the old shoes or so. But I mean, hey, I'm not going to be upset if I see him again. I definitely am not saying like I want him to retire or anything. But for me, it definitely seemed like he was saying, yeah, I'm done.
I think that's entirely possible. I hope not, though. I hope I'm wrong. Or I hope you're wrong, I should say.
As long as they don't do the bro skit, I'm all good. Keep him on. I'm all cool with it.
Yeah, and Palisi keeps doing better, like all the time. He's really strong. Also,
and they never show him. Like, have you noticed that? Like, once again, they keep skipping poor Dan. Like, I'm like, what's the deal? Like, they got this fascination with showing Brandon Mears fail every single year, but Dan like does well every year and just doesn't show him.
I don't know. I'm hopeful that he's going to get a full segment in the finals, so we'll see.
I'm fearful if he gets a full segment, because at this point, I'm like, if Dan gets a full segment, he's falling. Like that. That just seems to be like when they want to show him.
Okay, and here's where I struggle, right? So this is my only beef with having kids on the show is I feel like we can't really downplay them. Like, I really feel bad if we end up talking bad, but we got to talk about...
This 16-year-old kid is awful. Why is he on the show? Like, yeah.
No, they're
totally
all
understand.
good. They're unique. They're all amazing athletes, but don't wear a flamingo on your head. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. I mean, it screamed, like chocolate cake and everything else. It's like just trying way too hard. And I don't know if it's like the producers being like, be something, but there are some things where it's like, come on, guys. Like, I'm not going to, if they ask me to be on the show, I'm not going to come in with like a microphone being like, let me like whatever podcast every single thing that I'm doing, like the Ninja Babes lady, she's not doing some random gimmick. It's just like, hey, I'm an athlete. Like, I don't think you need to have a goofy hat on your head.
You don't have to fully, but it really should be relevant. And this is what killed me with him. So it's not like they have like a flamingo farm, if that's a thing, or anything. Like, it was just the most random thing that he stuck a hat on with a flamingo, and he didn't need it. That was, I think, what killed me the most. Is he was a good ninja. He had an interesting story with him and his brother, running. It was really cute, them doing obstacles together. I mean, there was no need of it. It was completely redundant. Like, he was fine as he was.
I mean, I got nothing else to say about it. To be honest with you, I looked at it and I was like moving on my day. Like, I don't have a...
Yeah.
When I see a kid going on the course with a flamingo hat, I'm just like moving all my life. Like, I'm,
But he's hard to ignore. He hit a buzzer. I mean, he missed them all the first time, but he hit a buzzer. Like Owen Dyer, the Dyer situation, which I love his shirt. I thought that's cool. Overall, great ninja, great little catchphrase. The Dyer situation, I like it. Overall, good. Ditch the flamingo. We don't need it.
Yeah. I did like the whole, like, even though it was kind of gimmicky, I always liked stakes. And I liked, I forget the name of the guy, but Ben Whitlow. He's the guy that had a frog that, like, I don't know, if hunts frogs or whatever is the right term.
Frog
catches
digger.
Frogs. Yeah, and, like, if you were to complete the course, Matt or Akbar would have to kiss the frog. I was all for it. I'm like, come on, complete the course. I want to see them kiss it. Do you think Matt or Akbar would actually kiss the frog?
Yeah, one of them. It probably would have been Matt.
It would have definitely been Matt. Come on, man.
Yeah. I'm torn on those, right? So sometimes I find them funny, and sometimes I feel like they do it too much, right? So they've got cake up there. They've got the cowboy hat thing, I think, is what started it all.
Come on, we can't compare kissing a frog to eating a cake. Come on, man. Like,
I mean, they had the mirrors. Like, why did they have the mirrors to look at themselves? Like, it's just some of it's just so goofy.
See, those aren't stakes though. Those are just props, and I hate the props. I'm all for stakes.
I got
If you have to eat a spider, if you have to like kiss a frog, I'm all for that. But yeah, like looking in the mirror. Oh, like I forgot they did like this whole thing of being like, "It's a mirror." Like, oh, cool guys. Like we all don't have mirrors. Like, maybe it's a cynic in me, but it just like I roll my eyes, and those are the things that scream like, "Oh yeah, this is a family show for kids," and I'm a 32-year-old man watching this, doing this dumb thing. But that said, for me, the highlight of this episode is not actually the last run. Make a guess of what the highlight of the episode was for me.
The Booty bandwagon?
No, but Booty was back. I love Booty. Brad Giles, I forget his name. But
Really?
This guy was amazing. He exuded a lot of personality and had a phenomenal video package of talking about a lot of just amazing stuff that he does. And sometimes I roll my eyes when they're just like just overshowing like, oh, here's a kid with special needs and like they've changed my life and all these things. Not saying that's bad, but you know what I mean? Like they play it up a little bit. For this, it's like a guy that's really dedicated his life to helping his community, genuinely spending like thousands of dollars for his community and just all this other stuff. This dude is so personable, so charismatic, such a great guy, talking about everything. And not only that, this dude can go on the course, bro. So I was just like all excited. It was the ultimate feel-good run, in my opinion. Brad Giles, you get the visually profound video of the night. You get the athletic. No, you don't get the athletically, but you definitely entertained me, and it was the highlight of the episode for me. I really enjoyed it.
So what stands out to me about his run, and he did really well, all the things you said, I agree with completely, right? A very interesting segment. He started to lose me at the beginning of the segment. I did think they were playing it up too much at first, and then I saw the genuineness come through it all, and I was like, okay, no, it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah.
But what stood out to me, I shouldn't laugh, this is terrible, but he seemed like he was fairly new to Ninja, like, and this wasn't like a big focus for him. I think it's his rookie season, potentially.
Yeah, they said he was like new to it.
And, he made it further than Brandon Mears, and I was just like, that's got to be like a knife, and like some of that's going to salt the wound a bit, like you said about
Come on.
the kids running through, and then this guy that's new. It's like maybe that would be enough for me to go, you know what? I'll stick to local competitions. Like I'm done with this show.
Yeah, I guess sometimes freak accidents happen. I mean, sometimes you try to catch a crayon and just slips right out of your hands.
Exactly.
Things happen, man.
Sometimes you're just climbing a regular wall at the local gym, and it just slips out of your hand, and there's not much you can do. You drop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your bell?
Never mind. I'm not gonna go there. Go ahead.
Do you have your bell handy? Because I need you to bang.
Yes,
if
I do.
you don't have it, I'm gonna insert one here. How dare they? How dare they fast forward Michelle Warnke falling early on Domino Effect? What
For
the
real?
heck?
Guess what, Rich? Say it with me. We're shaming. 1, 2, 3. Shame. Shame on them. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, I had to go back because I was like, just breezing through, like, whatever. And then I'm like, was that Michelle Warnke? It's like, I had to go back, man. And I'm like, of all people, Michelle Warnke, they're going to skip. She has an amazing story, like newly married, runs a gym, super athletic and powerful and everything. Wouldn't it be an amazing story to like show her and then, actually falling, which is a complete surprise?
Yeah. I have no idea what they were thinking. Why?
Yeah.
Why on earth would you do that? Like, as much as I don't want to see her fall, I sometimes like being shocked and surprised and like getting involved in these episodes, and that would have totally sucked me in, and it's not in a way where I'm just angry at the TV.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We were talking before this whole thing. It's like the 2 hours, we're starting to feel it, and it's like you have 2 hours of a show. You can fit in Michelle Warnke somewhere.
Yeah, do the mid-season, start midway, like we've talked before. Like that works really well to get more runs in. Yeah,
and that's perfectly fine. You're not going to see me complain about that. Like, I don't need, her life story, but if you want to do that, at least give us something. That's a great point, Rich.
We mentioned Booty. Booty ended up going out on the spinning log, which is pretty shocking.
Yeah, it looked like he almost, like, they said he twisted his ankle. It looked like he was fine, but I don't know. But that looked nasty. Like, his ankle went, like, a complete 90 degrees.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be favoring it or anything or mentioning it afterwards. I think it just tripped him up, right? Set him off on the wrong foot, and so to speak, and didn't work out well in the end for him, unfortunately, this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we want to talk about next? Skipping down. Who do we got?
There was young Rick Ninja. His father passed away. Sad story. I don't know. I felt like they were starting to play it up, but I mean, it was still, it wasn't too much or whatever.
You're talking about Bryce Buckland. He lost his dad to leukemia.
Yeah.
He loved Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like I thought Brandon was the one that was gonna like tear me up in this episode, and I was like, nope, I made it through. I'm okay. Like that kind of hurt a little. Like I definitely felt it. This one may be a mess. Oh my god.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of parents can probably feel it because like his father passed really young. And even me, you know, I'm in my 30s now, and I'm like, oh, I need to go check up at the doctor. Like these are some big relevant fears for a lot of people, I'm sure.
I felt like it was a little mean to play that video for him as he's starting his run. Like, you think it got into his head? Like he's like trying to focus on the course, and all of a sudden it's like
Maybe
cheap trick comes up on the screen, and which is really nice, but maybe afterwards.
Yeah, like, I mean, it could be like a boost of motivation, but yeah, it definitely looked like he was very emotional, like at the start.
And talk about a couple of fast forwards here. Some top level ninjas that get fast forward. Kevin Carbone and Tyler Gillette back to back as always.
Like, dude, they must be in on it now. It's such like.
They just interchangeable.
Those two guys
I don't know.
might as well just like I don't know. They should make a thing where maybe they try to act like the other person. Like Tyler Gillette just comes on the screen. He's like, "Hi, I'm Kevin Carbone." Even though they don't look like each other, they might as well like act like they're different, like they're the same person, because the show might as well present them the same way.
Yeah, they did great on the course. They both completed it. They weren't able to get the mega wall, but strong performances. They are incredibly consistent, both of them.
Yeah, they're amazing. They've got like very similar journeys, and they're continuously really, really powerful. I'll definitely expect to see both of them in the finals.
Okay, we gotta talk about Brett Hernandez Strong. Be Strong. 19-year-old rookie.
He looks so young. Like, I was shocked when they said he
does.
was 19, because I thought he was going to be, like, freaking 16 or even younger. Like, he looks young, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm so happy for him. He did amazing. He ended up beating the mega wall, 19 years old, only 5'6".
Yeah.
Like, everything.
That's
like
amazing.
Super young. You know, get the height thing. He's got everything going for him in any other episode of any other season. He did like record-breaking run that managed to get overshadowed, but still amazing. Like, I don't want to take anything away from it. It's just like, oh my god, of all the episodes that this guy could do this, he picked the wrong one.
I guess you're right, because like I'm thinking back to his run, and he did amazing. Like he did the mega wall. He looked very confident. It was actually really personable. I remember his video package was kind of like, all right, he bikes and stuff, but like he did show off a lot of personality on the course and everything. But yet, I mean, at the end of this episode,
Like, what are you gonna
I
do?
wasn't even thinking about him. So yeah, that's a good point.
But he did amazing. I am going to remember him. And I like the Be Strong thing. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Great little shtick to have in there. I dropped the baseball bat. Not needed, I don't think. But
Yeah. Good color tone, too, like with the orange and black. Like, I like
yeah,
that. It's unique.
That works. Overall, great ninja. Really excited to see what he can do this season. He wants to get Rookie of the Year, and he has some stiff competition.
Yeah, I mean, this this might not be the best year to try for that, but if he gets Rookie of the Year, even more props, because I seriously feel like to get Rookie of the Year this year, you have to make it to the absolute finals. You can't just be making it to Vegas. You have to get like stage 3.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Because I expect a newcomer to make it to stage 3. I'm just saying it right now. I really am high up on a lot of these teenagers.
That's crazy to think, and I think you're right. Yeah. Now you say that. How can they not? They are absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and especially with the strength to weight ratio, man, like we might see somebody completing stage 3. And I'm just going to call it right now. I think the guy that we're going to talk about at the end is the one that's going to do it. Just saying. I mean, is that really surprising anybody, though? I don't know if that...
He's
if I'm
never
going out on a limb with
fallen.
that.
He's never lost. I mean, yeah, it seems to stand out a little bit.
So let's talk about the Mermaid Ninja, because that was an interesting one. or not interesting, but like I liked her video package. That was unique. You know, they sold everything, are living on a boat. I gotta first off ask, like, would you be willing to do something like that?
No, definitely not. No hesitation. No, there's no
I like
way.
a matter of fact.
I thought it was an insane choice that is for some people and definitely not me. I think that's interesting. It's an interesting choice to make. And you know what? They seem happy. It does make for a great video package. But yeah, she's really, I've liked her since we first saw her. Like she hasn't moved to Vegas yet, I guess they said. I thought she had.
She's always looked really strong every time we see her.
Yeah.
I'm guessing probably the city finals, it must be always taking her out because like the qualifiers, I don't remember her filing like immediately or anything.
No, she's had some pretty strong performances as far as I know. Maybe she competes in a city with some extra strong women. I'm not sure.
Yeah. That said, I mean, first off, must say back to the video package. My wife and I always talked about living van life. Definitely not boat life. Not happening. No, thank you. But van life, hey, maybe at some point I'd love to travel. But yeah, I must say, props to her and her husband. You know, it's not just them, you know, going on that journey, but also having kids. You know, there's a lot of commitment. Obviously, you got to homeschool, got to do a lot more things, and they're dedicated to it. Live your best life.
Yeah, I guess I should have clarified that. That's the part that kills me. So, I mean, I've talked with my wife about retiring to a camper, right, and like just traveling when we do that. That part makes sense to me. The boat thing, yeah, maybe not quite as much, but it's similar, like you say. It's the doing that with kids, in school-aged kids, I don't understand how.
I feel you, yeah. I can't speak to it because I don't have kids yet, but yeah, I can probably agree with that.
It would be a lot. She ended up going on a pretzel twist. Strong run, managed to get past the air surfer.
I mean, yeah, I don't blame her after being like on the show. Those obstacles are really high, and I'm sure that gap was massive for her. And I forgot how tall they said she was, but she's pretty short, so that's asking for a lot. But that also makes me think about like Vegas finals when they had, you know, a lot of those obstacles where you have to do like a mini trampoline, usually up to the that like helicopter thing.
Yeah,
like. The women, I usually say women because, you know, they're usually the shorter competitors. The ones that were like sub 5'4" that were able to get up there, mad props.
Yeah, they said she was 5'2", if I remember correctly. And I find like the one we see people, the mini tramps are one thing. I think for most ninjas, they practice that a little bit. This was like a springboard, which has got to be different in a lot of ways. Probably technique and where you jump and everything. Like it's like a whole other subset of skills sometimes for some of the things they ask you to do. It's like not just upper body tests and balance. It's like, have you used this piece of equipment before?
Yeah, totally.
A couple of fast words we got to mention. Amir Malik and RJ Roman, two absolute beasts on the course, and they proved it yet again this year.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see like we're going to catch up with them in the final or like, you know, the regional finals or whatever they're calling it. I'm not worried at all. We're going to get an update on them real soon.
Yeah. There's no way you're going to skip those guys twice. Amir, especially, I love watching him, and I know you're a huge RJ Roman fan.
Yeah.
But Amir is like, I'm really excited to see him again.
I like them both. They exude personality very fast. I'm all for it.
Speaking of personality, we get Grant McCartney taking
Here we
the course.
go. This was fun. I love the fact that like they are in full like, well, I guess they've always been in like full bromance mode, and yeah, they are just living their best lives, and I really enjoy the fact that they've always got new stories of like their crazy adventures. Yeah, I really don't have anything bad to say about the vignette. You know, it didn't overtake the time. And what I really like is that you've got two big personalities, but yet they combine their vignette and basically tell their whole story in one large chunk. That's great. And yeah, swimming underneath ice. No, thank you. Not ever.
How many different fears does that hit for you anyway?
All of them. Just every single one.
Yeah, I love the vignette. Unfortunately, Grant and Nick both went out early and both failed to qualify this year.
That absolutely stunned me.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Two
like
former mega wall hitters.
If I were to say like Grant and Nick were to fall on this course, at no point would I say it was a surfboard that was going to do it. Like I'd be like, oh, maybe it's a balance obstacle, maybe it's the pretzels. No way I would have expected that. I have no idea what happened. Like Grant had some tape on his shoulder, so I was kind of worried about that. But like Nick's usually pretty, I don't know, error free with his runs.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But they both end up going out. Their little banter back and forth and they're in the water, I thought was good too. Pretty funny. It's interesting that they kept it on them so long. They just were trying to milk every bit of footage out of these two that they could, I think.
Yeah, short season. They've got to get the most they can. I feel like we're really going to be missing them towards the finals. Like, I'm going to miss their personalities. But, they are good friends with a lot of ninjas. I have a feeling we're going to see them at least cheering some ninjas on the sidelines.
Maybe that's the goal of this season is to refresh some of the personalities, right? Get a bunch of other big personalities in there so that they can get some new faces going forward. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because they did skip over, gave him a little bit of a segment. Brett Sims, who completed the course, 10-time veteran of the show.
Hey, at least we got one of the vets. At least we got one, man.
Not a segment, but I mean, Brett typically gets that treatment, unfortunately. But he did really well, looking very strong in what we did see, and that led into Vance Walker, 2-time ANW Junior champion.
Boy,
so,
I love the fact that they don't even mess around. They're not like, oh, let's talk about this one kid that likes Ninja Warrior. They're like, no, y'all need to watch this dude.
Yeah.
He is like the future of ANW. He is legit. I'm blanking on his name. Everybody's gonna kill me. But the guy from Sasuke who was like young that just like beat the course a million times. Like this is like the next coming of Yusuke Morimoto, I think is his name. No, that was the other one. Anyways, yeah, Vance Walker, 2-time ANW Junior champion. Never like failed the course or anything. And they're just showing him, like, winning all of the regional stuff. All the ninjas being, like, keep an eye out for this dude. They are hyping this dude to the moon. Love it.
Yeah, slight confession here. I almost wanted him to fall because it would have been so funny with all the hype that they put into him before he took the course. I was like, what if they just pulled the rug out? I was like, having all these veteran ninjas talk about how amazing he is, like they just set him up so much. I'm like, I mean, obviously he's hitting the mega wall, or that other kid would have been the last run of the night. I mean, there's no way he's not hitting the mega.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, how funny would that be if they just went, nope, sorry, he fell on the bounce obstacle.
I mean, that would definitely be something. And a part of me was like, man, what if they do have him fail because they've hyped him up so much? But I feel like this really was a hype moment of just like really setting him up possibly for a winner edit. Just saying, maybe.
Yeah, it did look that way, didn't it?
If not, I mean, hey, I'm all for it. I really like the fact that they're hyping him up, and it kind of brings back the sport aspect of the show. I know a lot of people are complaining, oh, blah, 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 all these kids, and like forgetting that it's a show, but it's also competition. And this guy hyping up the sport aspect of ANW or just Ninja Warrior in general really brought that back in the competition aspect. And I really liked that.
That's the thing, right? You can't have it both ways. For people that are complaining, like if you want it to be more of a sport, these teenagers are absolutely crushing the course. Like they are proving they deserve to be there and that the age limit should have been removed a while ago.
Yeah, if anything, the ANW Junior, I think, was a really like eye-opening moment for a lot of us, including me, where like I thought teenager or kids would do well decently, but I had no idea of how high level youth are in when it comes to Ninja Warrior lately. And it was very eye-opening seeing them do a legit hard Ninja Warrior course on that show. And now we're talking about teenagers that have been training for over a decade at this point. Like, that's insane, bro. So I expect a lot from them. And they're just still growing into their peak physical form. That's even crazier.
Yeah, they're just going to keep getting better. I mean, as long as Ninja's around, these kids seem like they're going to keep doing it. This is their sport of choice. This is what they grew up. They are not rock climbers turned ninjas. They are not pole vaulters turned ninjas. They are straight up ninjas from the beginning. Like, this is all they know.
Yeah.
All right, and Vance crushed the course. We basically talked around it, but he ended up hitting the buzzer.
I mean, was there any question?
Shortest, 5'5", 16-year-old hits the mega wall buzzer. Like, that is insane.
Yeah. Very well built for the sport and very confident, very comfortable on the course, as you can imagine. I fully expect him to do very well. Now, there's always a chance that something can happen, of course, but I very much expect him to do very well in Vegas. And I'm already calling him he's going to Vegas, but man, I could see him doing crazy things in Vegas.
With that edit, I'm going to say he definitely does well in Vegas. He has to. But yeah, fantastic episode overall, I thought. Not quite. Normally when we really root for an episode, it's full of just recognizable names where we're just like, oh my God, all my favorites are on this episode. I can't wait to see this person, that person. Like, had a lot of new faces, but a lot of ones I liked and a lot of strong runs and a great course. I mean, what can you complain about?
Yeah. I mean, if anything, all the ninjas that we recognized didn't do well, right?
Yeah.
Other than Brett Sims, like, a lot of them didn't do all that well. Actually, no, a lot of the ninjas that did well that we recognized were fast-forwarded, I should say.
Exactly, yeah.
But this episode really was hyping up the new faces, and I think that's where a lot of the complaints are from. But at the same time, they're not showing me, like horse abs. They're not showing me cake. I'm actually getting interesting stories, so I can't complain.
All right. So, that's it. That's it until next week.
Yes, sir.
I just looked at the preview for next week. It was all about the Queen, Megan Martin, coming back.
I'm all for that. Hey, if you guys are complaining about, all these new ninjas, I mean, the Queen is coming back. That's exciting. I don't even know what else to say. Like, I'm excited to see her again.
Yeah, I do. I want them to mix it up. I hope next week we do get some more familiar faces, like a good solid chunk of like familiar faces would be nice next week, just to mix it up. But we'll see.
It's funny because I don't even know who's left, but they're, when I see them, I'll be like, oh yeah, that person. And I only say that because I know a lot of my favorite ninjas aren't competing. Like Jeff Britton, I'm pretty sure said he isn't competing, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think Ryan Stratus and Kevin Bull were two I saw thrown.
Yeah, Beast McGrath isn't. So, I mean, a lot of our favorite ninjas aren't competing. But at the same time, there's a lot of well-known ninjas that probably are.
So we will see how they did next week, and we will come back to recap it for you again. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Yeah, hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151.
All right, thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.